And welcome to Dangerous Fly Fishing, episode 73. I'm Chris Cooper. That's Matt Carney. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good, buddy. Doing pretty good.
Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Indeed. I missed the memo on wearing green, apparently.
You sure did.
Is that not green?
No, it's tan.
Ah, crap.
Also, we have Mr. Ross Lyskoka. How are you, sir?
Fantastic.
Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Happy St. Paddy's Day, sir.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Having a delicious St. Paddy's themed Guinness along with today. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, from a quote from my favorite movie, St. Paddy's Day, everybody's Irish.
Yeah.
Some of us, the other 364 days as well.
A part of some of us, and then all of some of us, and then none of all of us, some of us.
What? That'd be me. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
The last. Okay.
You're the sum.
Okay.
I thought he was the none.
I am the nun.
I am the sum.
Oh, and I'm the all.
You're the all.
Oh, okay.
Whoa. I'm confused. I'm going home.
It's a lot of fractions.
I don't like fractions.
We know.
Fractions are bad. They're no good.
Yeah. So, at some point, we did record a special episode, which you'll all eventually see whenever I get it edited and put up when we feel like it. But we had Jim Crawford and my brother in town for the Trout Unlimited banquet.
Yeah. How'd that go?
So the banquet actually went, I think, pretty well.
Yeah, the banquet was super good. We had a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed it, as usual. Not as many people showed up as previous years, but
I think
it was still a good event.
I think they still did okay from a fundraising standpoint because there was a lot of people putting tickets in the raffles. They had some pretty decent prizes, and then some not so decent prizes. Like there was a hose reel for some reason.
Yeah, that's I always enjoy the raffles a lot with the Trout Unlimited stuff, but like some of them, it's like, oh yeah, here's this marshmallow turner. It's like, no, somebody needs to tell people, no, this is not appropriate.
Yeah, we're kind of going for fishing themed stuff, not the extra Chinese stuff you bought at Harbor Freight you forgot about in your garage.
Right, like don't re-gift for the Trout Unlimited raffle.
That's exactly what some of them were. They were just straight up regifts that nobody wanted, or they were like super cheap Chinese knockoffs of certain things. But then other things, then you had more money, but then more people put tickets or whatever into the raffle for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they had a big double insulated shelter for ice fishing.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But it was like a generic
Chinese
Temu brand knockoff.
Yes.
So it was kind of,
It was insulated, though. I will
was.
say that was.
Hey, either way, just like my thing is, it's like it's like those white elephant things that people do at work for Christmas. It's like I can't buy anything that I'd actually want to give somebody for like $20. So instead of buying a piece of junk, I'm just gonna go find something that's absolutely hilarious. Like one year, I found like one of the old wooden duck decoys in like not a pawn shop, but what is that? Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, this is funny. Like, so there's just a duck decoy and along with like gift cards and whatever. And the one like real stupid redneck country guy was like, oh, hell yeah, man. Like, I'm going to use the hell out of this.
And I bet you he did.
I'm sure
I bet you he put so many tickets in that thing, and he probably won that thing. But hell yeah, brother, as he would have said.
yeah. I did not win any of the raffles.
Neither did I.
That's okay.
I put in on, actually put in on the one because it was a wading jacket, which I didn't really need, and then it was an Orvis net, and I also didn't really need, but I was like, oh man, that's a sweet raffle. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like, very high-end raffle, and then it turns out they did two separate drawings, one for the jacket, one for the net, but Mike Churchetti did end up winning the net.
Oh, good for you, Mike.
So-
Yeah, the guy that doesn't fish.
Yeah.
You know, it happens.
Well, I tried, I asked him if he wanted to go on Friday, but he apparently can't play hooky.
I might see if he'll let me buy that off of him for like $100.
I mean, worth a try.
Maybe I'll give him.
Why not?
Maybe I'll give him 125.
Go ahead.
I don't need it. I have.
Exactly.
I might
You
be
waste
full
your
new
money.
fish
I will
pond.
reuse it.
Yeah, it's more to spite you than anything. Come on.
Yeah. Spite is important in a transaction such as that.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Yeah, if you're getting it half off, I'm tired of you bastards undercutting me and finding shit on sale after I buy sweet things.
No.
The history of Nick.
Well, that's different.
If you took more than 2 seconds to look for anything that you needed, I'm sure you'd be able to find some kind of deals at some point.
Well, it's not a matter of the 2 seconds. I still like mine better than that one.
That's fine.
It's not a matter of 2 seconds. It's a matter of I generally tend to want and or need the thing when I buy it. Whereas like the super huge DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw with stand that I bought, like I needed that and I needed it now.
I get that.
Nick did not need his, and 3 months after I buy mine, he's like, "Oh, look what I found on sale," and it's like, sucks to be me, but I kind of needed it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. But like those waders I found, like it's gonna work out great for me.
Yeah, but I mean, conversely, like I thought I needed new waders, so I bought new waders because I thought my old ones were leaking.
Yeah, turns out you're just sweaty.
Yeah, that's in fact what it turned out to be. Because man, it was weird. The brand new waders were leaking the very day I bought them.
I feel like you just straight up overdress all the time.
So at that point, I had the heavy Orvis wading pants, and then after Ross bought the LTs and said, "Man, these are actually keeping me warm in the freezing cold," and I went and bought the lighter weight ones, and then I sweat less.
Yeah, well, that was kind of before we got into the whole wet wading thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I mean, if anybody's listening, just stop wearing waders. Wet wade or die.
Yeah,
it's like so much better. But that was like we were fishing in like what, April or May after you got them.
Oh, it was like I think it was the first. There was the one opening week. It was the Monday after opening day because it was just you and me.
Yeah, and then like you got the new ones.
Yeah.
It was an unseasonably warm opening day, and we were just like, well, it's really hot out. I don't think I'm going to wear my pants to the next, or my waders to the next hole. And we're just wet wading out there. And surprisingly, it was manageable for me. But
yeah, I get you. I've been more so wet wading than anything lately. Well, not lately, but in years past since, I mean, we've been having warmer seasons per se.
Yeah.
Just
thanks, Al Gore.
Yeah, I mean, instead of just wading in waders, just wet wade like Ross said, and you'll be more happy because it's cooler.
Well, I mean,
you look cooler.
Agreed.
I mean, I do a lot more cold weather fishing than at least you do, Cooper.
Absolutely.
So like I do hit a point frequently where like I have to wear the waders. Even if I'm on the raft, I have to wear the waders to launch and retrieve the raft.
Yeah, just as insulation.
Yeah, I mean, for the first few weeks minimum, I have to wear my waders until the water temperature rises. But then since we're in Western Pennsylvania, we get that really, really good weather, like 60 degrees, and then all of a sudden it's 24 and snowing.
Yeah.
I don't know, today. Yeah. Last night I was at home and I looked out the window when I was cooking, and all of a sudden it's snowing. So I go look outside, and I'm like, there's a lot of snow on the bed of my truck all of a sudden. So I get the tape measure. There was 4 inches of snow on my truck within 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's April.
But it was also
whatever.
It was also like a good, thick, dense snow too. That you
not
could,
April.
Make
what month
snowball?
is it?
It's March.
March. Jesus.
But no, I was kind of annoyed because I had to go down to Pittsburgh this morning, and apparently the 2-week respite of us not having snow, people apparently forgot how to drive in the snow again.
Yeah.
So like everybody's freaking out and wrecking everywhere.
Yep.
It was annoying.
I hate that. I also have another complaint that's somewhat fishing related.
Oh.
I got knocked out first round of that fly tying competition.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad.
I'm a little pissy about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like,
I voted for you, buddy.
I
did
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I am also happy that like it wasn't just you guys voting for me. Like,
No.
there
Yeah,
was-
you had like 3 other people.
No, it was more than 3.
He had 17.
Well, did
I
it
think.
end up to 17?
I think so.
After I saw it was like 15 to like 25.
I think it was like 32 or 35 to 17.
Yeah.
Was what I saw today.
I was actually kind of surprised for as large as that group is that there weren't more people voting.
I was surprised as well, and I kind of have a feeling that it is a older age group. I don't think there's as many. Like, I think there's a lot of people who are starting fly tying as their retirement hobby, or fished all these years. I finally want to start.
Well, I will say, too, they had special instructions on how to vote, and a lot of people I saw didn't follow that because you had to
At all.
click on the picture and then click like, but they were like, because they'd pair the flies in 2s, and people would just like the 2 flies.
Yeah.
It was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, there was a substantial amount of them, which I'm going to say were all votes for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were all
you.
for you. Yeah.
That's what happened is you just had a bunch of retarded people voting for you.
That's normally how things go for me.
Your friends are all retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
I did it right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's yeah. Although we did give you step-by-step instructions on how to vote, so
That's not true at all because I figured out how to. You have to request to be on that page, and you didn't help me even a little bit.
I'm sorry.
So-
I thought you joined when he said he was doing the competition and wanted our support.
Nope,
Oh,
I did it the next day. So
Either way, I was like I said, I was a little disappointed that I got knocked out first round
yeah,
to a fly such as that. That was like literally half of a hackle feather, and then
well,
like
I mean, it was a technically well done fly. It was just
very
it was
good
just
looking.
Meh. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was like, oh, it's a fly tying competition. Let's make the most bland, cream-colored mayfly that we possibly can, mayfly type thing that we can.
Yeah, which I obviously there's something to be said about simplicity. However,
Yeah,
Yeah.
People may not have liked your colorful palette. That's all I have to say.
I'm kind of used to people not liking the things that I like,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
it probably
and I'm
helps
okay with that.
that you see the world differently than most other people.
True, very true.
literally because you can't see colors that we can see.
Well, I see better colors.
Yeah,
Nope.
He sees shades of gray.
No, he sees other colors.
Yeah, sometimes.
I know he's red green colorblind.
Yes.
I didn't get to bust out at the Billy Joel joke there, so thanks.
Yeah,
We're all better for it.
What was the Billy Joel joke?
Well, Billy Joel sings that song "Shades of Grey."
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I've never.
Beats me,
That's surprising because I've listened to a lot of Billy Joel and I can't remember.
Wow, look it up in the break, man.
I
It's
will.
It's not a bad song.
Billy Joel hasn't written a bad song in my mind. He's one of the better artists,
writers.
singers. I don't know if he writes his own songs or not.
I think so.
I kind of feel like he probably at least initially did.
Well, they all initially do,
Yeah.
Yeah,
except
but-
Taylor Swift.
No, she writes all of them all the time.
No.
Clearly, she writes all of her songs because they're always about the current boyfriend or ex-boyfriend and the size of their schmeckle.
And how they treat her,
Yeah.
which, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Not talk about men's schmeckles.
Yeah. And while we're discussing size, though,
Schmeckles.
we got an interesting argument yesterday.
Who got in an argument yesterday?
Ross and I, we were debating fly rods.
Oh, yeah. How
I didn't necessarily classify that as an argument.
I'd
but
say it's a discussion.
It was
yeah,
a
it's
discussion.
simple. Yeah.
Fine,
Argument-
take the drama out of it.
Argument involves like screaming and
Yeah.
fisticuffs.
Well, maybe I was screaming into my phone.
That's
That's
accurate.
how I
for you.
generally talk.
All caps.
I was not screaming at all. I really wish your talk to text would like transfer it all to like all caps.
Oh, because I talk so loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be helpful. It would and funny for
we
me.
could just do the voice messages and be done with it.
I'd look like Donald Trump. Well, the thing is they've done studies in that higher intelligent people get annoyed by voice messages.
Is that why you don't mind them?
No, I hate them.
Oh.
I really hate them. So, like, intelligent people can read, like, on average 300 words per minute.
I didn't know that.
But, like, auditorily, like, people only speak, like, 90 words a minute. So, basically, me having to listen to people actually is slower than my brain can process. So, having to listen to a voice message instead of a text message is annoying because I can read, like, the one-sentence text message almost instantly. But the voice message, I have to sit there like, oh, God, just get done.
Wait, you're saying you can read the text message faster than I can say it?
Yes.
I believe it.
All right.
I mean, I
mean, like, if you think about, okay, stupid question maybe. Have you ever read a book?
of course he does.
Not yet. No, I have. I have read books, yes.
Okay. Did you ever notice that, like, if you listen to, like, I noticed, because I had to do all that stupid continuing education for my adjuster's license, like, it takes the freaking person, like, 18 minutes to read however many pages of whatever chapter of the training.
Okay.
And, like, literally I can read it in, like, 1 or 2. But they're so freaking, like, them talking and reading is so slow compared to actually reading.
Okay.
I've noticed that, but I think being able to be understood, when, especially in a public speaking thing, like having to actually pronounce your words correctly, does inherently make things slower.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, speak Spanish and suddenly the rate of speed and conversation like doubles or triples.
Yeah, which is surprising.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, most people It's actually like most people can read stuff way faster than they can.
Yeah, I'd
like,
agree with that.
Wait for somebody to talk, so it's very frustrating. I don't know.
So
There
I
was a
don't know,
study
that's-
I read,
I
and
guess
I was like,
that's-
man, that explains a lot.
Yeah, I just don't want to hear what like most people have to say.
Also
Say
true.
the truth.
Yeah. No, I think it's for me, I suppose that's different because if I read too fast, which I can read fast, but my brain doesn't comprehend as quickly as I can read something. So I'm able to read it quickly, but it takes me a second.
I did say intelligent people
Well-
prefer text message over verbal messages.
Yes.
I would go on a side tangent with that, as that's a failure of the American education system.
Yeah.
Because it does not value you understanding the material so much as you completing the assignment.
Yeah.
And I have heard that same I've heard that same statement from other people to where it's like, yeah, I have to actually like slow down and read and like process instead of just like, hey, read chapters 12 through 15 tonight. It just,
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about reading so fast you don't process.
no, I
I'm
understand.
just saying you read faster than people speak.
No, I was talking about his point.
Oh, yeah.
But-
Yeah, the read 10 chapters by tomorrow crap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, I will read them. Whereas instead, if the teacher was like, okay, well, how about you read this chapter and we're going to talk about it tomorrow, I'm sure that I would have paid more attention in school on that specific kind of thing
Yeah.
versus just complete this. Like, okay, well, technically I read all this. You didn't tell me that I had to remember shit about it.
Right.
Yeah. I read it. Nah.
Exactly, Miss Blatchford.
You can't prove that I didn't read it, but I did read it, even though I have no idea what it said.
I read the
I
Spark
did
Notes.
Yeah, it caught the larger points of the narrative.
Yeah.
I read the back of the book. Does that count for something? Told me the premise or whatever.
I literally judged it by the cover. I'll be fine.
First chapter, last chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
That was an issue for our language classes too. Was the teachers would just give you a thing to do, and then never touch base on it again.
oh yeah.
Like, here's a packet of information. Finish this and turn it in by the end of class, and we're done.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
mean,
the stupidest thing.
yeah. I mean, I there's a lot of problem with the education system. Like, I'm learning Irish currently.
Is that Gaelic?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was a difference.
No, it's Irish Gaelic. Well, each little
What's Gaelic? Gaelic.
there's Irish Gaelic, Scotch Gaelic, and then I think there's Welsh Gaelic.
Welsh?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've heard that Gaelic is just like 3 languages in a trench coat.
Kind of. No, that's actually how most people describe English,
Yes.
because English is primarily
It's a Latin
French,
language.
Latin, German,
Yeah.
running around in a trench coat.
Yeah.
But no, I lost my train of thought. Oh, like I'm learning on Duolingo, and like they just randomly throw like 10 new words at you and don't even tell you what the frick they are, and it's like, what in the hell?
Yeah, I was gonna try a language thing. I mean, back in the day when Ross was on a boat, like he was learning Russian. I think
Little
you had
bit.
tried to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Which it was great because I had like the what's that, Rosetta Stone?
Yeah, it was Rosetta.
And I'd do great for like 3 weeks and then I'd drop off in another country for a month and then like came back and it's like I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what happens to me every time I take a break.
Yeah. Well, that Duolingo Al, he'll get you.
Oh, yeah, it pops up and yells at me.
Yeah. Well, he'll come to your house.
Yeah.
Wait, he comes up and yells at you? What do you mean?
You get like notifications from him if like you're like, they literally put like a red, nasty, evil owl eye timer on the top of your phone, basically doing a countdown so that you don't miss your day's lesson.
Oh, dude, it's really, really funny. I don't know who does like all that for Duolingo, but they need a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Because you
user
see that,
interface
like-
is great.
You see that red owl pop up and you're like, oh my God, I'm in danger. I gotta complete my Gaelic lesson today.
Yeah,
It's-
literally countdown timer, and then he yells at you if you miss it.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. I've been thinking about trying to get into another language, but with everything else I'm trying to do all in one, plus having a child on the way,
Yeah.
I got too many things. I don't think I'd be able to. This goes back to my comprehension, I suppose. I don't think I'd be able to. And this might be the easiest way to do it if you think about it. Sit there and tie flies while he's sleeping, and have headphones on, listening to a new language.
Well,
Like-
Duolingo's
I don't
interactive phone app, so you have to like write words and stuff too. It's
Yeah.
not just listening. So it might be hard to tie flies and do Duolingo.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier with the old Rosetta type disc thing.
The old language tapes.
Yeah.
What was that? I can't remember. I was
Donde está un biblioteca?
yeah, that kind of thing. Like I would like to hear the specials.
La biblioteca es aquí.
Oh God. But no, fly rods and whatnot. What were we?
Yeah, well, we were. I forget how.
This is your argument. Your
well,
argument
it wasn't an
that-
argument. It was our discussion. I was corrected. I was trying to bring a little drama to the podcast, but Ross immediately corrected it. So
I don't like drama.
I don't even know how I discovered it. Oh, I remember now, because Tom Shank posted something on the Muskie Fly Fishing post about some Lake Ontario like resort or something. You know, like, oh, we have all the gear you need to succeed. And it was like a picture of a 9-foot, 9-weight Clearwater.
Okay.
And he basically said something like, you know,
You're missing Chippewas.
well, that and well, he kind of left Chippewa out of it, but he was kind of like, you're undergunned for fishing for like trophy muskie in Ontario with a 9-weight.
Yeah.
Because you
absolutely.
can't cast most full-size muskie flies. And I was
Definitely
looking
not
at
well.
somebody was like, oh, you can cast any fly you want with a Helios, and took everything in my power not to be like, but dude, that's a Clearwater.
Yeah, and also like physics is definitely a thing. So
Yeah.
like it,
Yeah.
you like go ahead, grab a 5-weight Helios and try and cast like a beast fly. It's not gonna work.
No.
You'll probably
If
like
the
take
rod-
the top of your rod with
I was going to say, if the rod doesn't break, I kind of feel like you could get it out, but probably not as far as you can with the bigger
Definitely not
one. Until
going
it's
as far.
wet.
Yeah, at least
Once it's wet, game over.
yeah, at least once you can do it. But
It kind of got me thinking because, you know, I was like, that's a Clearwater, not a Helios. And then I'm like, I should go, before I comment, go double check. I was correct. It was a Clearwater. But
Yeah.
By that point, I forgot to, because apparently Orvis came out with a Muskie Pike Recon.
I saw that,
Yes, I sent it to you.
and I also saw it down at the what's that, Cabin Fever when I went down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I stopped and talked to the Orvis guys because I was looking for blanks.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
I
like,
don't think they sell blanks.
no, they do not. Which, I mean, it's all right, but I figured, like, I talked to the manager of the Orvis store down in Pittsburgh
Yeah.
because he was the one running it, and I was like, hey, I know you guys probably don't sell blanks, but do you know anybody, you know, where can I get stuff? And he did a great job for Orvis and was basically just like, hey, I'm going to promote my Orvis brand. But, so, struck out on the blank finding with that.
Right.
But
What you ought to do is buy a Helios and then strip
Nope.
all the Orvis hardware off and then build your own.
the hardware, in my opinion, is not very high quality.
No, I agree with you.
Because they're still using the snake guides, even
Oh,
on that
yeah.
Predator rod.
Yeah.
And
They did put a larger fighting butt on, though.
they did.
Why did they not change over to just full eyelet the whole way
Cost.
up instead of the snake eyelet?
Because
Cost.
it's going to be cost, but also
Cost. I'm already paying
like,
$14,000 for the thing, and might as well spend. They can spend the extra $5,000.
I kind of feel like Tom is the only one I've seen where he puts like the full ceramic inserts in with the stripping guides the whole way down.
Well, I'm doing it now.
Well, you too, but like the Wolf Rod, I don't think does. I think he still has snake guides, and then I don't remember. I think that Slow Roll Fiberglass Company. Those are like the guys I see at all the muskie things,
Yeah.
and I think Slow Roll has the snake guides too. I'm sure he custom does them, so he might be able to wrap on whatever you want. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look at his stuff. But
yeah, well, the moral of my story is I kind of feel like Tom's the only one that's doing the full ceramic stripping guides the whole way down.
he's also one of the only ones doing single foot guides, which is a lot better in my opinion. One, it's a smaller impact to the actual flex of the rod.
Mm.
So like
Oh yeah, because that would kind of keep it rigid where the guides are, wouldn't it?
yeah. So you're adding, and it might not matter that much. I don't know, but there is a difference. And having just a single foot guide like completely removes the flexibility from having two separate guide feet. And there's going to be flex. There always is. So on a pure durability standpoint, I think that is a substantial improvement because you don't have that weird flex coming from a different angle. And especially with a muskie rod, like Mark Romine.
Yep.
He's posted a couple pictures of like him just eating through snake guides on some of his rods and stuff with
Like the bigger size rods.
the bigger size rod, 8 weights, and
Okay.
like especially when it gets cold out and he's like smacking ice off the eyelets and stuff, and he's like, "Yep, this is how you knew." The one Instagram post he made, he's like, "This is how you know you fish a lot," and like his tip top is just like eaten through by
Oh,
one of
wow.
the textured lines, which
Yeah.
is
because the ice will eat it, and then the textured lines will add friction, and then the sinking lines, because
Yeah.
they basically coat them in tungsten.
Right.
Tungsten just rips right through it.
Yeah, but what I was so the discussion Matt and I were having is this Predator Recon is now 8'9" or 9
Six.
foot.
8'6".
I believe it's an 8'9". I don't know. I'll check it.
We'll check it in the break.
I'll check
but-
right now. Go ahead.
Okay. So when I was talking to the guy from Orvis, not from Orvis, the manager of the Orvis store, he was saying that they kind of designed that rod because it helps people cut through the wind more when they're casting, is the answer that he gave me, which I was like, I feel like that's a really good marketing term, but I don't think there's any
Science to
yeah,
prove
there's
it?
like no legitimate, like if you want to cut through wind, you need velocity and line speed, right?
Yeah, which you lose in the 8'6"
Yeah, like it's
compared to a 9.
it is now a shorter lever. Well, it might not be enough for you to feel or notice a difference. There is a legitimate difference because it is now a 6-inch shorter lever.
Yeah, yeah.
And what Matt and I were discussing is, why are they shortening these rods? My theory is that there's a substantial cost cut to their graphite usage.
I mean, that's a possibility. Without knowing how graphite blanks are machined, that seems a substantial possibility. My counter argument to you was, but they offer, a 9-foot version in the salt water, and I'm pretty sure it's the same blank. They just changed the hardware.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure because because the original Recons were like salt or freshwater. But
Yeah.
my thing is I think they must have thought there was, well, one of my things with Orvis actually is when I was looking at buying, because I'm still looking at buying a new trout rod, you go and look in the trout rods, the Helios, they have a 10-foot, a 9-foot, and an 8'6".
Yep.
So it seems to me, and like having listened to Tom Rosenbaumgartner's podcast,
Rosengirdle.
Rosengirdle,
To quote another of our favorite Irish movies.
but like people always ask him for rod advice or whatever, and he's like, well, if you have a 9-foot, then get the 8'6", and per him they design these rods for like hyper specific uses, like, oh yeah, we designed the 8'6" for drift boats or whatever.
Which, while there may be some merit to that, I would think that a longer rod is easier to use in a boat than a shorter rod. Like if I'm wading and fishing for muskie or whatever, and I have to figure 8, I'm going to want the shorter rod when I'm wading so I can figure 8 more effectively.
Yeah.
If I'm standing on a boat, give me the longest rod I can put in my hands, and
Yeah.
because I'm standing above the water.
Well, what I'm saying is my
Is it a
theory.
Recon Predator?
Yeah, it's a Recon 11 weight.
Yes.
It's the largest Recon they sell under freshwater.
Okay.
It has a super. It has an extended fighting butt like the Chippewa, whereas like the saltwater one has like the little 2-inch one.
Yeah.
Anyway, my thought is that I think it has more to do with Orvis's marketing in that basically why sell Ross one 9-foot 5 weight, the universal jack of all trades trout rod, when I can sell him that 9-foot 5 weight for wading and the 8'6" weight for when he's on a drift boat.
I totally get it.
And that was kind of my theory behind why they're doing the different lengths. But as I said, I'm not sure why the Predator rod is 8'6", unless it's like you said for shorter for figure 8s or something.
Yeah.
They don't go into that much detail in their description.
Which is what concerns me the most. Like, I believe the Orvis company is now a corporation.
Oh, they're a huge one.
So are you talking about the 11 weight?
Yes.
8'9".
8'9".
Is it really?
8'9", yes.
I thought it was. I
so-
stand corrected.
So the the 11 weight and the 8 weight are 8'9". 5, 6, 7, they're all the standard 9-foot or 10-foot, but 5 weight and 4 weight they sell in an 8'6". So maybe you looked at the wrong one when maybe possibly clicked on the wrong thing or something like that.
Oh, I was talking about the Helios when I said 8, 6, 9, and 10.
Okay, so you're talking about a different model.
Yeah.
That's probably where
Well-
the confusion is.
So it's kind of one of Orvis's things that they use the Recon for product development and then put that technology into their new model Helios that they're going to come out with.
Yeah.
So it, in my mind, it makes no sense to shorten a rod by 3 inches other than a cost-saving gambit.
Well, yeah,
I'll
because I
use.
mean, 3 inches makes even less sense now than an 8.6. At least 8.6 gives you just that little bit more clearance.
Right. And like, okay, 8'6", like, sure, if I'm 5 foot tall and I need to figure eight inside a boat, will there be a difference? Yeah, obviously there will be, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're losing 3% off of whatever capability that rod has for distance and whatnot. And I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that, like, you don't need a long rod to catch fish. Like, you, especially with trout fishing, like, when's the last time you caught a fish past, like, 50 feet, 50 yards, whatever you want to call it?
Not for a while.
Yeah. Like, can you? Absolutely. You go out to the Delaware River, somewhere big out west. Like, you're going to need that rod because it's a big, slow-moving river that you need to cast to the other bank. That's why they invented spey rods. But I can definitely see, I did the math somewhat based off a couple of the blanks that I had. Like, if you cut off that 3 inches on the rod blank, there's like a 10 to 25% reduced area for the graphite, which if you're making 1 million rods a year, that's got to be a substantial cost savings thing. And now that Orvis is a corporation and has a legal obligation to pay, like, to make the shareholders profit,
Yeah.
I can definitely see that being like, hey, do we actually need these to be 9 foot long, or can we, like, cut stuff out here?
So here's my question. You probably know more than I do, being as to how you're actually a rod builder.
Almost.
Almost a rod builder. Well, I mean, you know more about building rods than I do. Like, do you know how they actually manufacture the blanks?
I do. So they'll have for our purposes here, let's just assume that we're making a 9 foot one-piece rod.
Okay.
They have a mandrel that is machined at whatever given taper. So at the butt section, it's going to be a 1/2 inch. At the tip, it's going to be 20 thousandths of an inch. And it's a extremely long cone. And what they do is the graphite sheets that most people build these off of come pre-impregnated with some kind of resin. And they'll wrap that around there, and then you take a heat press that pivots both on an x-axis and on a y-axis. So, because obviously if it's got a tapered cone,
Up, down, left, and right.
yeah, you have to twist. So they'll take that, they'll heat it, and it just gets enough to, it tacks it almost. So they roll that, then they wrap it in some kind of like a cellophane wrap, and then they put it into an oven to get that resin to come out and actually cure. Then afterwards, once it cools down and everything hardens, they pull the cellophane off, give it a quick buzz off some kind of sander,
Okay.
and just remove the slight imperfections.
So basically the way you're describing it then is if you're making an 8 foot 9 inch rod, you're taking the 3 inches
Off the butt section.
off the butt section.
Yep.
Okay. So that makes a lot more sense than from a cost savings perspective.
Yeah, because you're literally taking, like, when you look at a 1/2 inch section versus a 20 thousandth section,
Yeah.
like, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wasn't sure if, like, the shorter rods are, just a hair thicker because they cut it off the other end per se.
Well, you could do that.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
guess my question is the tip top, where the tip top goes, is that, because I know, like, they sell tip top repair kits, and also obviously your fly rod comes with a tip top. Is that almost like a standardized size?
There are several different standardized sizes.
Okay.
It goes off of it's almost like a shoe size thing where it's not actual based off of measurement. They've just, like, a size 4 tip top is, I'm lying about these numbers. Like a size 4 tip top is for, like, between 15 thousandths and 18 thousandths for a tip top. And
Okay.
then a 4.5 is slightly larger, etc.
Okay. But we're guessing they're taking the extra 3 inches off the butt section because that's clearly the easiest.
And the least impactful to the actual flex and
Right.
performance of the rod, and the largest area where they could remove a graphite
Well,
cost.
all right. You might have me on the potential cost saving idea.
We'll find out.
Well, like I said, the other thing that makes me question is they still do offer 9 foots, maybe not in the Recons, but
Yeah.
they offer the 8.6 and 9 foot like in the Helios.
and I'm gonna need to look up numbers, so we're gonna take a break real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I kind of, with that 8'6", I kind of want to see if they have done like things with the actual action of the rod, fast versus slow, moderate, etc. But
Yeah, I think unless they drastically change it, I'm pretty sure Helios is a fast action, or Recon's a fast action rod.
right, but
So,
Yeah, let's just do some numbers on a break real quick. We can talk about it when we come back, write
Yeah.
some things down.
Well,
a
I
little
think-
note or whatever.
I think when we come back, since we're already on the rod topic, I guess we'll discuss rods and how to choose the perfect fly rod for you.
yeah, works for me.
So,
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
all right, we'll see you guys in a few.
Hey, welcome back to Dangerous Fly Fishing episode 73. I'm Chris Cooper. That's Matt Carney. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's Ross Lyskoka. How are you, sir?
Trying to make sure I don't knock over that little clacker thing again.
Yeah, we want you to not break that fun thing.
I'll do my best.
I will say it's kind of weird going back to our original introduction order.
Yeah, so
We're missing a component.
there's a guy that's not here today.
Jim is missing.
Silver alert! Silver alert!
Is that?
That's the old people one.
That's
yeah,
the old people
yeah.
one.
Oh, he's not old. He's
He's in Florida
he's
visiting
wise.
family.
So he was able to go down, visit with your brother, your sister-in-law, and the grandkids.
nice.
Yep.
So yeah, he went down to Florida for the
Yep.
week.
Sean drove him down after the TU banquet on Saturday. So he's
for
down
him.
there. He forgot very important stuff that I have to remember to ship down to him.
Is like fishing stuff.
No, like stuff he needs to actually survive.
Like
yeah, it's fishing
insulin.
stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
You
Well-
can go to Rite Aid and get insulin or Walmart.
He needs like a Dexcom sensor and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, apparently I have to ship that down to him tomorrow. I'm gonna
Just
have
give
to
him the
2 days ship
old
it.
injections.
And knowing the
Ooh.
United States Postal Service,
Yeah,
I'll
I'd-
probably get it after he leaves.
I'd FedEx that if you wanted to actually get there on time.
I don't know where the nearest FedEx office is.
Walgreens.
You can actually like
Yeah, they have. You can either pre-print your label, or like you just go in there and say, "Hey, I need to ship this to here," and they'll like print you out a label.
But I trust them even less than USPS.
Yeah, but you're involved
Yeah,
in the
I think
process.
UPS is CVS.
Yeah,
Or I have to go to, I'm assuming Warren, Ohio probably has a UPS store. Maybe I'll just send it from there.
yeah. There's things to do.
I'll figure it out.
Before I forget,
Oh yes.
I actually did look at the numbers I had saved in my notes. On average, it's about a 20% area difference in graphite when you cut off the last 3 inches of a blank.
Mm-hmm.
And that is based off of the 12-weight blanks that I had available.
Which, I mean, 11 weight's pretty close.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the tapers are somewhat similar to, whether it's a 5-weight or a 12-weight. Like, I'm sure there's a similar taper profile to it.
Right.
But, yeah, about 20% is the average that I was able to deduce very quickly while I was getting ready to come here.
Nice.
Cool. Also, to touch back on base of rods that you guys were talking about with you had mentioned the Helios version.
Yes.
That's an 8'5", actually, not 8'6".
Ah.
So maybe they're doing that nonsense too, like cutting an inch off of that.
Well, like I said, they're still making the 9s, though. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they're just like, cool, we can sell dumbasses 2 $1,200 rods instead of just one by convincing them they need a boat rod and a wading rod.
I would say that is a legitimate possibility. I am, however, going to take the what's the word I want to use here? I'm going to make a prediction that in the coming years you're going to see these fly fishing. What's the Instagram word for
Influencers.
Accounts.
influencers?
Oh, yeah.
Like content creators. I'm gonna place a wager saying that all these people are gonna be like, yeah, we figured out the science and now you only need like a shorter rod and it does the same thing, and I'm going to bet that it's all based off of cost savings.
Well, I mean,
I
that
bet
was,
you're right.
That was your running theory behind getting rid of the hook keepers too. Like they blamed it on aesthetics. Like most of our customers wanted to get rid of the hook keeper so it's more streamlined,
Yeah, well,
which we all thought was bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's horseshit.
I would love to find the I don't think I'd be able to actually access this data, but I'm sure that if I went into like Orvis's warranty returns for tip tops, like I'm willing to bet it was at least 50%.
What you need to do is break a rod somehow find a way to file a lawsuit, and in discovery you can request that information.
It sounds like a really complicated way to do this.
It's probably
And
gonna, it's probably
potentially
gonna-
expensive.
But yeah, it's going to cost us some money, but we could get the answer.
We could.
Or
We
maybe we could ask Tom Rosenbaum Girdle.
Yeah. Hey,
Bauer.
hey, buddy. Like, tell us what's actually going. I bet if we called up like a couple of Orvis stores, like the corporate ones, be like, hey, why is this actually gone?
I was going to suggest that, or just straight up email. But like, hey, what's up with the hook keepers or whatever? They might get back to you for all we know.
Speaking of corporate stores, Nick actually went to the Orvis corporate store today.
Did he?
Oh, thanks for
Down in
that.
Pittsburgh.
Soles fell off his boots.
Huh? Well, that's a known issue.
Great catch guarantee.
Yeah, I mean,
New
I'm
boots.
glad they at least warranty that, because that's BS, dude. It's happened to all of you guys' boots, I think.
Yeah, that's happened to mine too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
You had one.
Yeah.
I've had 3.
Yep.
This is Nick.
The craziest part about it is you guys are using your boots pretty frequently, minus Nick, he's an exception. But I bought the cheaper pair.
You have the Clearwater.
I have
don't you?
the cheapest pair of boots, basically, that they sell. You bought the most expensive, well, one of their more expensive boots, I'll say.
Those are the most.
Okay. And yours are falling apart and mine are not.
Can I tell you the difference?
Yes, please.
One is an adhesive, one is a stitch. Your Clearwaters are stitched together, the soles to the boot. The Michelin
Man.
the Michelin rubber is adhered to the bottom of the Orvis boot.
It's actually
Why not stitch it?
mine failed at the foam, not the rubber.
I don't know why you don't stitch it. It's stupid. Probably another cost-saving things where it's like, oh, it takes us 15 seconds to stitch this boot onto the sole versus like we give some little Vietnamese guy a tube of glue and it's like slap this on.
Well,
there,
I think
good to
it.
go.
I think it has more to do. I mean, great, it probably is some cost saving factor again, but I think it has more to do with the what's it called, the insole or whatever. Not even the insole, like so, like the Michelin rubber is only like a quarter of an inch thick, and then there's that big thick black foam stuff.
Yeah,
That's where mine keeps failing, where the leather meets the foam,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the bit thick to be sewing on.
Yeah, and I'm no seamstress, although I am going to try to be when I make a pack for myself because I hate everything on the market. But I'm building fly rods now, so we'll wait until my next fixation.
Yeah. Attaboy.
All right, there we go.
But no, like it's like you can tell they're trying to find a good way to, because like that Michelin rubber on the bottom is a legitimate improvement, and I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
However, take the time to make sure that this is also a durable product because like
Right.
Michelin tires, they'll last for like 70,000 miles
Pretty
depending on
popular
your
brand.
driving. You know, they kind of know what they're doing.
Well, I think the problem they need to figure out is the adhesive to that foam.
Yeah.
Because it's not the rubber that's falling off; it's the leather boot to the foam.
It's-
At least that's where all 3 of mine failed.
Yeah, and I can't remember the actual name
Yeah.
for that kind
What's-
of foam, but
Well, I think it's because they tried marketing that boot. Like they market that boot as, in addition to being a wading boot, they also market it as a hiking boot.
yeah.
So I think they kind of designed it more with the all-day beat the trail comfort,
Yeah.
more so than yours is just straight up like this is not a comfortable boot for long walking, but it's great in a stream.
yeah,
I mean,
and
to be fair,
to be fair,
my boots are pretty fairly comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying like the pros are kind of built like the new trend in like endurance hiking boots.
Let me ask you a question though. Is there an in-between boot? Like, so my
No.
boot Clearwater, your boot Pro.
No,
There's nothing
yeah,
I don't think so. That's it.
I haven't seen a middle ground.
weird.
Yeah, and on top of that, Ross's is even more pro because he's the boa.
Yeah.
Which I do love the boas, but no, like on a purely product development side of things, you should not adhere to a flexible material. It always fails. Well, I should go a little bit further and say a adherence connection always fails.
Okay.
It happens. Like it's kind of it's just what happens. Like
I feel like part of that also would have to be like you have to include the fact that you're going to be in water.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, water's a big issue for a lot of adherents, and then on top of that, like foam, because it's usually made out of like some kind of oil product. There's also a limited number of adherents that work with like foam and oil product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So couple water with oil, they kind of.
I just think they thought it was a good idea, but there's got to be somebody there smarter than us that actually knows the science behind all this that actually would have said, nope, shouldn't do that. Here's why, and so on and so forth. But the fact that this is still going on, they haven't come out, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, with another boot yet
No.
or a fix for that boot besides just fixing them for free.
Well, it was
That can't be cost savings. That's
Well-
got to be killing them.
There's a substantial markup that they use for all these products.
Sure.
Like, and kind of when some of these companies are designing new products, they build a warranty repair into the cost of the product if they offer a lifetime warranty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was funny because when it first happened to me, they're like, "Oh yeah, we knew there was a bad batch or whatever that went out," and it's like, "Cool, I mean, that is a possible thing, but like, just be like, yeah, we fucked up."
It's not a bad batch.
Well, no,
It's
because it's
literally all of them.
it's still ongoing.
Yeah.
Like as soon as the Orvis store manager sees you walking in with a pair of boots, he's already all right. What size?
Yeah.
I will
mean,
say
why
that-
not?
The one cool thing is that they do give you replacement spikes with it.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that'll save
And
you
they are-
$40.
Honestly, they're probably losing money hand over fist replacing the spikes.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this whole situation's been going on for how long, Matt? How long? When was the first time you did that or replaced your boots?
Well, I can say I bought new wading boots probably my second year of fly fishing.
What your first year was when I bought my first Orvis Pros
Yeah, so that was
5 or 6 years ago.
at least.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and you've had 2 replacements already.
3.
Okay, 3 replacements already.
In fairness, I do have 2 pairs.
Regardless, it
Still.
still counts. You're one person.
And they failed more than they should have.
Yeah.
Also, now you have Nick, who has had his boots for who knows how long, and Ross yourself has had a replacement. You all, so in total, the 3 of you have done 3, 4, 5 replacements.
There's a
That's-
100
that
there-
can't
there's a
be.
100% return rate on the products purchased.
Yeah, and they're giving you free spikes. They can't be. They got to be above their threshold at this point because
Oh,
you guys
sure.
can't be the only ones that are returning your or replacing your boots. Like,
Well, what they may be banking on is people getting pissed off and switching to another brand. And somebody actually asked.
Orvis ain't banking off of that.
No, well, they might be because somebody even asked me like, these boots keep failing you. Why the heck do you keep getting Orvis? I'm
I
like,
asked
because they're free.
I asked you that.
Yeah, which
I have a lifetime supply of wading boots.
yeah, and I mean in the grand scheme of things, like it's a commonly known thing that companies this size will build loss leaders into their products, like Costco hot dogs. They
Yeah.
lose all kind of money, and it's really funny when you like read the interviews from like the CEOs and stuff. There was almost a like round of fisticuffs going on in the meeting. He's like, if you raise the price of my Costco hot dogs, I'm going to fight you right here. Figure it out.
Yeah.
And companies are okay with like, hey, we're going to lose money on this product, but we're still making 50% off of these sweaters or whatever.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Which Orvis is doing. The fact that like fly fishing is the third option when you go on their website is a big red flag to me. Like, this is not a clothing company. This is a fly fishing company. Figure it out.
well, I mean,
Right.
To your point, like, oh, I bought the Orvis Pro, like your Orvis Pro boots may talk somebody into buying the Orvis Pro waders, which, I'm sure there's a huge markup on those.
Oh, absolutely.
For
So,
sure.
I mean, that's, if I have the Orvis Pro waders, clearly I need the Orvis Pro boots or vice versa.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, and I don't really blame Orvis that much because, like, you're designing a new product. They were the first ones to come out with this, like, Michelin sold rubbered stuff.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
They're great. I
In
love them.
fishing, yes, because I've seen shoes that done it before.
Yeah, my work boots that they give me at the mill are Michelin rubber, which, boy, are they comfortable as all hell. But, like, it's a legitimately good product. I'm just a little disappointed that they haven't re-engineered this and been like, okay, this is Model 2.0.
Yeah.
And now we stitch these, or now we've, like, redesigned the adherence. Like,
If anything, I would say if they came out with a new version of that boot, you guys, not all of you, But people, instead of, hey, I keep replacing this boot, even though it's free, are going to buy the new one because they get sick and tired of having to replace the damn other one.
Or they at least don't keep giving you free boots because now they give you Model 2.0 and that one is known not to fail.
Right. So you try and cut off the continuous free boots by giving me the 2.0.
Yeah, you stab the bleeding.
Conversely, if they put the freaking Michelin sole on your Clearwaters, I would buy those because that Michelin sole is awesome. You almost don't need spikes with that sole.
Yeah.
Impressive.
No, I know that once they come out with a new boot, they may or may not, depending on their stock, stop doing the free replacement boot for your boot, but they'll have to give you the new boot for free because and then your warranty for the old boot would obviously dissipate because you wouldn't have them anymore.
I never paid much attention because apparently the boots are part of that Great Catch guarantee, which is like they're basically almost like a no questions asked warranty because when I broke the zipper on their boat bag, I just walked in and like, I've only had this for 6 months. The guy was like, yep, cool. Go grab a new one.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I am very glad that they stand behind their product. I am just concerned that Orvis's quality is going to go down because they're losing money on products that work right until they don't, and now they have to give you a new one.
Yeah, I agree. It is worrisome, but we're nobody in the grand scheme of things when it comes to this stuff.
No. And then I will say I did notice that
for now,
Orvis apparently dropped a new reel.
Really?
Yeah, it's called the
Thank you.
It's called the Ratio, and it's their new saltwater reel.
Interesting.
So it's currently the Mirage is not available, or severely discounted. So my guess is they're rejigging the Mirage.
Yeah.
In the interim, they kind of I think did this Ratio as the saltwater, but they're like, oh yeah, it's designed for stopping big fish, and only has like 16 pounds of drag, which in the saltwater game sucks.
that's not very much.
I don't have enough experience in that to make a educated argument.
Well, I mean, like the Lamson Centerfire I have, I think has 25 pounds of drag.
That's pretty bad.
And then like the Nautiluses, which are like the creme de la creme saltwater, like I think they're hitting like 32.
Ooh.
So that's what I mean. Orvis is like, oh, it'll stop big fish, but it has half the drag like every other one.
So it's very large spool for a lot of backing.
Granted, it's also only like a third of the price of a Nautilus, so
yeah,
because I think they're like $600 to $750 for the reel.
Ross, I just sent that reel to you.
Wonderful.
It's
thank you.
$498 to $649, so
For the size
$500 to $650 basically, depending on the size, I'm sure. And it comes in a very nice blue color, like a sea/ocean blue, some kind of goldish tan or sand, if you will, and then a black. The blue, definitely my favorite. In my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's very pretty. Yeah. Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting though for like if you ever upgrade from your Behemoth, because it now does like they have 11 to 12 instead of having to buy the Mirage, they now have a cheaper 11 to 12 weight reel.
The Mirage is heavily discounted right now.
Well, that's what I think they're discontinuing it and going to introduce a new version because they just did that with the Recons. The Recons kind of got super discounted, and now there's new Recons.
Yeah, they're rejigging it.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking at the Mirages right now, and it's anywhere between $325 to $449. So I think that's like half off.
So
yeah.
The takeaway to this for our listeners, if you are looking at a Mirage reel, make sure you possibly buy extra spools if you think you're going to damage
in advance
them,
for sure.
This is the point when there's not going to be a cross-compatible reel from the previous model.
Orvis historically has not made their reels back compatible.
Planned obsolescence.
Yep.
I hate it.
I learned it the hard way.
In other news, Orvis still has their Clearwater 3-pack thing still available.
I just took advantage of that.
Yeah, so it's a good deal if you want that. I'm actually in the market still for, and I know I've been talking about this for too long, and people are sick of it, including
it's not too long.
I'm still in the market.
Just pull the trigger already.
I know. I'm still in the market to get a new reel in line and everything for mine. For now, especially now that I have a new rod that I need a reel and line for. I actually just got off the phone with our local fly shop.
Who's that?
Neshannock Creek Fly Shop.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much. Talked to Chris. and he was kind enough to put aside a reel for me and 2 lines because I'm going to replace my 5-weight line too.
Nice.
What'd you go with?
So I went with the reel. I just went with the Lamson Liquid.
Those are, I've heard great things.
Yeah, and they're super light for the most part for what they are, line holders. And then I went with 2 different Scientific anglers.
Ooh.
I don't know why I said that weird, but I went ahead and got those, and both textured line.
Was it Amplitude?
I actually don't know the name. I haven't gotten that yet.
I believe so, is their branding for that now. But, dude, you're going to love the textured line.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, so I talked to Chris about it for a little bit when I was on the phone with him, and he was like, yeah, it's like night and day when you're trying to mend your line.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're exactly right.
And with that line dressing thing problem that I've been trying to work out, just, like dressing your line makes a substantial difference from what I've heard, and
Right.
based on my testing, it seems to ring true, but I don't feel like paying an arm and a leg for Scientific Anglers line dressing. So I found a different product, so we'll have to test it out with yours, because like the stuff that I've been spraying on all my lines, I have seen no downside or like line deterioration. Thank you,
Okay.
linguistical magician.
So it hasn't been a negative thing, but has it been a positive impact on your line?
I haven't. These have been all winter projects, so I haven't got enough to finish.
That's
so it hasn't been a downside,
Mhm.
and letting it sit on there has not done anything to the lines. So I'm interested to see if you notice a difference.
We'll have to wait for his first cast when he casts out, and then all of a sudden the fish all go belly up.
No, I had the product that
That's
I,
oil based.
It's actually uranium based. No, the product that I sourced is actually a food grade.
Nice.
I was just teasing you.
Oh, no, I know.
It's actually Pam.
It's like saran wrap made of spray. No. Well, kind of to get back to the topic we were discussing before the break is like selecting a fly rod for your needs.
Oh yeah.
So what's your number one, like when you're going to determine you're a fly fisherman,
Yes.
you say, hey,
Allegedly.
I want a new rod.
Yeah.
What kind of rod should I get?
So for me, the first thing that I'm going to look for is the weight.
Okay, so kind of almost what species you're going to target.
Yes.
Okay.
The species, obviously, like, can you catch trout off an 8-weight? Probably. Is it going to be a lot harder for you to do it? Absolutely.
I've seen it done, and it was very hard for him to do.
I've
but
seen it done.
I've seen Todd catch a trout on an 8-weight.
I'm sure. Versus, like, if you say, well, I'm a trout fisherman, I've got my 5-weight. You know what? I'm going to try to catch muskie. Could you do it? Maybe. I wouldn't recommend it.
Nope.
So in my mind, the weight of the rod is the first thing you should look at. Because obviously, if you want to target a species, you need to have a species-specific setup for it.
Okay, so like 1 through 6 is generally trout.
Yeah.
6 through 8,
6
bass.
Yeah, 6 through 8 is a really great section of fly rods because you can catch trout, steelhead, bass, probably not carp, but like catfish. Like,
I mean, 8 you can start catching pike.
yeah, like that's your diversity when you start buying rods in that size. And after like the 8, I'll throw in the 9-weight too, like 6 to 9 is probably your most diverse rating of rods. Because after you get to like a 10-weight, now it's like, okay, I'm catching carp, muskie, tarpon,
Right.
big fit, them giant friggin' taimen out in Mongolia or whatever.
Yeah.
Still want to do that, by the way.
Yep, me too. And so then basically your 10, 11, 12 and bigger are your bigger game.
Yeah, that's where you're starting to just catch big old nasty friggin' creatures, which
I'm actually waiting for Matt to order his first 14 weight.
I do not have Mako shark fishing on my calendar to date.
love to.
What about like a sailfish or something crazy like that?
That's less fun because you kind of just troll with a fly rod.
Yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong. Are they still catching it off a fly rod? technically.
The fight would be spectacular, though.
Oh my god,
Right,
that'd be great.
right.
No drag, like just doing it with a click and paw.
Oh god.
Dude, you'd have freaking burn marks
Like
for your
that.
ball.
That is the first time I wouldn't make fun of you. Like if anybody like wore a glove fly fishing.
Yeah.
Like
I wear them for the sun.
no, that's
Well, we still make fun of you, but
yeah. That's just because you're a ginger. But like you see some of these like competition fishermen wearing like the fingerless gloves and
Well, I mean, I do. I occasionally will wear a strip guard.
yeah, for like if you're using a textured line, like
Yeah.
it's gonna eat through you.
Yeah.
But like out there, like with a sailfish with a click and paw reel,
That would be hilarious.
boy, I would love to see that. And
I need more coolant.
the lack of your hand left after you reel that thing in.
You might as well just Vaseline up before you even cast.
Yeah.
Don't even fast.
Literally just have Cooper sitting there with a brush, be like, hit me. Just
Yeah.
hit me.
Just go with like Pennzoil at that point.
Gear oil.
Yeah. You want a real high viscosity, like
Yeah.
600 weight that they threw in the Model Ts. It's basically honey. But so it's actually, funnily enough, now that I have a little brother who's going into engineering, so my dad has a 1932 Model A.
Yeah, that thing's
Fun.
awesome, dude. I love seeing that car driving down the street. It's
Yeah.
my favorite thing.
Oh, that night
Especially in the summer, obviously, but
I got him a tire cover for it that says "Better Dead Than Red,"
yeah.
and he like refuses to take it off, and I love it. He actually just like drove it to Detroit, like to tour the River Rouge plant,
Mhm.
and like that was pretty cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like I was asking him like, what, like if you do an oil change, like what is all this? He's like, well, this is the viscosity, and then he's like, oh yeah, the differential oil and stuff is like literally a 600 weight. And my little brother like is sitting there doing the calculations, and he's like, so if you pour like molasses in this thing, like it's like 1 or 2 times less viscous than like honey or like whatever gear oil they're putting in there, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
I'll get back to fly rods now. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. I love every second of that. That was awesome.
The fact that my little brother has the same brain as me, to where it's like, let's see what machines can do and how can we go faster, is great to me. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. I hope he puts it to good use, though.
He
But-
will. He's been beaten enough in the trades and like
Oh,
the
you're
practical
talking
app-
about the trades. Okay.
yeah.
Hopefully he now knows what Le Mans is.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. He was way back in the day. Matt and I were talking about doing the Lemons race. Which
Well,
is,
no, we were talking about doing Le Mans.
yeah, and he looked up Lemons,
Oh,
which is a completely different 24-hour race, but it's like your car is not allowed to cost more than like $1,500.
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, this is all." It was like, "No, Elliot. Like this is like completely different." And he Googles it like the way it's supposed to be spelled. And he's like, "Oh, I feel like an idiot now."
So you Googled lemons, like
Well,
the
I think-
fruit.
Yeah, I think he did, instead of the MANS, he did LE and then MONS. And there's apparently a Le Mans race, but not Le Mans.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, because he and I had some crazy idea of basically trying to get Ford to sponsor us,
Running a dually
running like a
with the remember the old Chevy did it, but they had like the rear axle drive
Yeah.
that you could actually turn the rear axle. Our thought was like, let's slap that in an F-350 and just take up the entire lane. So if we can
Sideways.
get if we can get a good start, we're golden. We'll just
Well-
like load the bed up with a fuel tank.
Well, that was the other theory is since like it's a Super Duty, it has much heavier duty brakes, and we could literally put a freaking tank of diesel fuel in the bed, and instead of having to pit, just never stop running.
No, yeah.
Clearly, they could beat us in the straightaways, but as long as we never stop and kind of try and block the road,
Yeah.
it could be money.
If we get that one lap advantage, we're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be the slowest Le Mans in history.
We also had some crazy plan of putting like a rotation seat inside. So like since we're never stopping, like and a driver can only drive for so long.
Yeah.
It was basically like guy in the passenger seat sleeps, rotate, and then literally while still driving, just switch driver,
Yeah.
like a rotation carousel inside.
Chinese,
Or
Chinese fire drill in it.
just do the old
Hold the wheel.
no, like the steering wheel just slides across the dashboard.
That could get kind of dangerous though, with the guy sleeping accidentally hitting pedals.
True.
You're talking like a driver's ed
Yeah,
car,
yeah.
No, that's why I liked our rotation system.
Yeah.
Because theoretically, we can.
Get automatic seats that just move when you hit the button to
Yeah.
make them move.
basically, and that was our theory. Is basically because if worst case scenario, Ford gets mad props for running a freaking Super Duty at Le Mans for 24 hours straight,
Yeah.
and then B, we're thinking about winning.
Yeah.
But I never heard back from Ford about their sponsorship.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Probably because we're not professional drivers, nor have any influence online or anywhere. Or
Especially not in the racing.
we're not engineers or anything at all. So.
Yeah. So I guess listeners, if you want to see us run Le Mans, please send letters to Ford.
Yeah.
So what's the rule? It has to be under 15K?
No, that's for lemons.
Oh.
No, Le Mans is like the serious one where like Ferraris run.
Yeah, I was going to say, okay, there's like high-end, fancy,
Yeah, like the cars
obnoxious
that are never ever going to be on the road, and companies are just like pride project. That's Le Mans.
Okay, and they always got stickers abroad all over everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But our theory is basically if we never stop,
We'll win.
we could potentially win.
Gotcha.
And the amount of beer cans that would be thrown out. the window.
You have a whole bed for that.
Well, half a bed maybe, because we're probably going to need a lot of diesel fuel to run 24 hours
It's a big
straight
gas
at
tank.
100 miles an hour.
So, with the fly rods.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
You talked about weight.
Yeah, weight was next, and like kind of the thing that I don't want to look at, or the thing that's easily confusable when you're buying a fly rod is like you see all these graphite types like IM7, IM8. I think they're up to like IM10 or 12 now.
Jesus. I remember IM6.
Yeah.
I remember I Am Legend. Solid movie.
Not bad.
I'm just seeing that scene with the mannequin, and he's like freaking out over it.
And then when his dog tries to eat his face.
Yeah, poor Sam. But
Jeff, what are you doing here?
absolutely. So IM, and then the number following it is a modulus.
Okay.
It is just a measurement of how far the graphite will flex before it breaks. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, it sounds like it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So like that is not a speed rating, that is not a quality rating, that is not a anything else other than this rod blank will deflect this much before it breaks. That's it.
Okay.
And I have seen a couple of things from people asking, like online message boards, Reddit, whatever, where it's like, what does this actually like do for my fly fishing? And the answer is that's how they get the faster action rods,
Okay.
because it can flex more without like permanently deforming, i.e. a break. But if you're just looking at a fly rod to go out and catch fish, like don't worry about that too much. That is just a marketing measurement to where they are at with their graphite research.
Well, I was going to say that also only becomes pertinent in the higher end rods, because most of your entry and mid-level rods are going to be, probably IM7 or IM8. So
Theoretically, it's the last model of graphite that they researched.
yeah, it's basically that doesn't need to concern you. But I mean, on that,
Technical difficulties.
are those going to catch fire?
No, they're lightweight. Our lights
Jeez
just took a
Louise.
I was
Hey,
referring to
we
the
could take a break if you want.
Yeah, we'll take a break and make sure we don't set the studio on fire.
Jeez
dive.
Louise.
This is great.
And welcome back to Dangerous Fly Fishing, episode 73. That's obnoxious. What just happened?
Oh, it was obnoxious. It was hilarious.
That was the stupidest shit that's ever happened in this studio.
Since it all happened behind the camera, what actually happened, dear listener, is the brand new light stand constructed by Ross fell over mid-conversation. So if you noticed a quick and rapid lighting change, that's why.
And probably it may be a noise depending on how good the microphones are.
Yeah.
It probably didn't pick up the noise. I was more concerned about it catching shit on fire because it landed on a cardboard box in the inside of your jacket.
Well, those are LEDs.
Oh, I thought they were incandescents.
No.
Fuck, we
this is the future, man.
We could have carried on then. Oh, I forgot you can change color and hue.
Yeah, I can.
I'm Chris Cooper. That's Matt Carney and Ross Leskoka. How are you, sir?
Disappointed in myself.
Nah, don't be.
They're great
Don't be.
light stands. We just need slightly better engineering.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have made them a triangle. I tried the whole cantilever thing, and
It's got to be 2/3, buddy. 2/3.
yeah, fractions like I brought up.
Ah.
I'm not a fan of them.
No.
Yet he's talking about 20 thousandths of an inch.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
That's a fraction.
no, it's not. It's a measurement.
Yeah, fractions are usually measurements.
I understand. However, you can correlate a fraction. 20,000ths of an inch is the actual diameter of something.
It's still a fraction. 1/8 diameter is still a fraction.
1/8 is of an inch. And
So what is
there-
20,000ths of an inch?
Not 1/8. I have 5.
No, but it's of an inch.
Yes.
All right, we're way off topic. Let's get back to where we were. We were talking about
we were
instant
we were
messaging.
actually we were talking about
Instant messaging.
yes, IMs, and then so we talked about the weight of a rod, the IMs per se of a rod, and then what was your next topic on rods? As the
Material.
light falls over again.
There was a firefight. No, so to quickly review before our studio fell apart. IM and then a numerical digit following it, i.e. like IM10, IM12, IM8, whatever. All that is a modulus, which is a measurement of flex before permanent deformation.
AKA break.
In this case, a break. So
Goddamn ramshackle homemade studio.
yeah, hey,
It's not. Stop looking at it. It's not falling over anymore.
leave it alone. You know, it's one of those. We just need sponsors. You know,
Yeah, it's just being held up by a carpet cleaner.
this is where we need.
Oh,
The,
you got the carpet cleaner. I got the vacuum.
yeah. It's pretty high tech over here. Dangerous fly fishing. We're
Hey, it's
holding up-
working.
Yeah, working great. This is where we need the Sarah McLaughlin music for
Yeah.
potential sponsors.
Yeah.
For just $12 a day, you can make sure these guys' nightstands don't fall over.
I wish I could zoom in on you for that.
With the sad music playing in the background.
Absolutely.
Please send us all your monies.
So,
For 37 cents every other week
yeah.
on the second Thursday of the 12th month.
We would get maybe $1 a month.
Yeah. So,
That's why it's ridiculous.
I know.
if you're looking at a graphite rod,
Oh, we're talking about rods.
yeah, IM and then the number, that's just a modulus of flex. So don't really worry about it too much. For a graphite or any other rod, we should probably go into rod types now. The two main other materials that they make fly rods out of now are still fiberglass and bamboo. Bamboo being the most antiquated version of it.
But also arguably pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like way back in the olden days when they first started building fly rods, which the modern design was, I can't remember the gentleman's name. He was a gunsmith from Eastern PA. He developed the hexagonal 6-portion fiber or bamboo rod.
Which is what most of them are constructed today.
Yeah, well, it's the easiest way to make a semi-round shape without it warping to just unusable
Yeah.
dimensions.
So yeah, bamboo, older technique. A lot of fun to cast. If you get a chance to cast a bamboo rod, tons of fun. If it's in your budget, clearly spend it. There are cheaper bamboo manufacturers available. I've yet to cast like a Orvis bamboo or a Thomas and Thomas because they're like $4,000, $5,000.
Stupid
Good
expensive.
God.
Well, dude, it's all man hours.
Yeah,
No,
it's-
I'm not disagreeing with the reason for it to be that cost, but the fact that it is that cost anyway is still ridiculous. But I get it.
I actually listened to the Orvis podcast because I kind of like Ross is building rods. I almost said Rod's building rods. And so like Orvis, I listened to the
Busty Balls.
Rosengertel's podcast about building. He spoke to the guy that builds Orvis bamboo rods
Okay.
because I was interested because I always wanted to build a bamboo rod because I like wood. Construction carpentry and stuff. Holy hell, are we falling apart professionally? And but I listened to his podcast and like one of the things is I think he said they have a 70% rejection rate.
So they reject his wood?
No, so out of every 100 rods they try and build, they reject 70 of them.
Oh, they're rejecting their own wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you also have that written into your $4,000 or $5,000 cost.
Eek.
And then, and that's like I'm talking through the entire process. Like,
I get
the
you.
epoxy didn't cure properly.
Right.
Bye.
This cut is wrong.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, it could be as simple as they're starting to shape the rod like from the actual piece of bamboo or whatever, and then it
He sneezes
just so
and
happens
takes a little too much. Yeah.
yeah, something happens, or just the wood ends up not being what it thought it was.
Yeah.
Out of spec.
Correct.
Yeah, but that's what it. So, like, in addition to the ridiculous man hours, it's also they have like a 70% rejection rate. So, like, that builds into your cost too.
Which, to their credit, that is great quality control. Because
Yeah.
I guarantee you, no Chinese company is throwing out 70% of their stuff.
Guaranteed not.
100
I mean,
absolutely not.
yeah, and that's where, like, because I own a Headwaters bamboo, a ton of fun to cast.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, it has its weaknesses. We'll say, like, the grip's not as glued as well as I'd like and that type of stuff. But hey, it's only like 1/10 the price of an Orvis one. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought up the weaknesses point to bamboo rods in general. Like, I'm glad we talked about this one first because with bamboo, you're not doing any sort of, I'll call it big game fishing.
yeah, because I think the largest bamboo rod I've ever seen is an 8-weight.
Yeah. And that one, like, could you use it for bass and stuff? Yeah, but I'm not really sure why you would. Like, they're a very slow action rod.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I like slow action, but I mean, bamboo rods were pretty much the creme de la creme for throwing dry flies and wet flies.
Yeah, that was the pinnacle of technology they had back in the day. And most of the people back in the olden days were fishing for trout.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it works excellently for that species and like stuff like that. But we've progressed, and now we can fish for muskie off of fly rods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love the bamboo for its nostalgia.
That, and if you're a dry fly purist and you just want to throw dry flies for trout, I'm not sure there's anything better to present a fly than a bamboo rod.
Oh, it drops it so gentle.
It's
So that was actually something I was going to ask when you had brought up the using it for bass or any other type of fish that don't really care as much as a trout species. The presentation was going to be my question, but you obviously just answered it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said, it's basically designed for not chucking weight. So, like, wet flies unweighted,
Yeah.
dry flies unweighted. It pretty much drops it like unbelievably delicately.
like snow,
Okay.
like snow falling.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. The other thing I'll bring up about bamboo rods is it's somewhat common with some of the higher end brands that they will send you a second tip section, because I believe your bamboo rod is a 2-piece.
I have a second tip section as well.
Okay. They will commonly send you a second tip section because it will deform.
Yeah, you're supposed to so like if you're fishing 2 days, you let the piece you use the first day rest and use your second one the second day.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
wow.
It'll absorb water and deform, flex, whatever you want to call it. So, like, if you do go out and buy a bamboo rod for yourself, make sure you're following the
Proper storage,
Yeah.
for sure.
proper storage,
Yeah.
manufacturer's recommendations.
just all around protocol for what they
Yes.
recommend, or look up and do your own research. If you're spending $4,000 on a rod, I hope you already did your research on
Yeah.
the thing.
And I
Wow.
hope they tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do, but that's what when I listened to the Orvis podcast about it, the guy said he spends almost half his time doing like warranty work on bamboo rods because if you don't store it properly, I mean, if you take a 2x4, lean it against the wall, it eventually starts bowing inward.
Right, right.
And that's literally what the bamboo rods do.
Yeah.
So,
That is something that you need to take exquisite care of. And if you're not, like, if you're a 16-year-old listening to this podcast saying, like, I want to trout fish this year, like,
Yeah.
you're not going to buy a bamboo rod.
Probably can't afford it.
Yeah. However, like, if you do go buy one, that is a product that you need to take legitimate care of. So,
yeah. Because it's apparently a giant pain in the arse straightening the bamboo, involving heat and all kinds of other stuff to
Oh, I can
take
believe
the
it.
set out of it.
I wouldn't want to do it.
No.
I can promise all of our listeners that I am probably not going to build bamboo rods.
I always thought it'd be fun. But that being said, like, if I find somebody that sells a 12-weight bamboo rod, I'm probably going to buy it just for the shits and giggles.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do with it.
Full send for the muskie, 12-weight bamboo.
Oh boy,
Good Lord.
that would be something else.
The worst part
I
about
hate
it
to
is
imagine how thick that would be.
Either you just take a piece of bamboo. You don't even cut it. You just
Basically
you strap some eyelets on it.
3/4 PVC.
Yeah. But like the worst thing about that is you'd catch muskie, like record-breaking muskie off the first cast, and now that you would never buy anything but a bamboo rod for muskie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just like start mortgaging things.
Yeah.
You'd have
Sell your
to.
truck. Yeah, but oh well.
Yeah. I mean, if I catch a world record breaking muskie on a bamboo rod, yeah, I'm fishing bamboo for the rest of my life.
I would too.
Yeah. I'm not stitious. I'm superstitious.
Just a little stitches.
The other main rod.
He almost got it.
I got it.
Either way.
I said the inverse of it. How couldn't I have got his joke?
He's very superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
That's why. Yeah. Anyway, the other major type of rod is fiberglass, which was kind of the in-between scientifically of the bamboo and the graphite.
Yep, that's typically your, like, I know you learned off like one of the old Cortland fly rods.
Yeah, that was an old school, like original era graphite.
Yeah.
It sucked.
And right before then they started, that's when fiberglass started becoming popular in American society.
Yeah.
And that was,
the 70s, I think. 60s into 70s, I think.
I would say that's probably pretty accurate. I don't know enough about the dates.
I wasn't
Matt
I
remembers.
wasn't actually alive then, so I don't know. But I think
he
it was
remembers.
60s and 70s.
Yeah. Pepperidge Farm remembers. But so fiberglass was the middle, was the precursor to graphite. A lot of people love fiberglass rods. There's actually a pretty big recurrence of fiberglass starting to come back out with the advancements in the resin that they use to hold the fiberglass fibers together, similar to the graphite.
Because the new one's S2, I think, right?
S-glass is what a lot of people are calling it. I actually have a blank that I'm waiting on to build
Attaboy.
a 12 weight off of it. So both my graphite blanks are in. I'm waiting on the company that I ordered the fiberglass blank to come in, and we will hopefully have a 12 weight shootout coming in the near future.
Yes.
I'm excited for it.
What
can't
versus
wait.
what?
We will. What I'm building now is a premium quality graphite blank.
Don't give it all away.
Oh, we'll shoot out of your rods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought we were going to put it up against like my Helios or something.
absolutely we will.
Okay, that's what that was.
Don't
a
give all the
clarification I
things
wanted.
away. We'll talk. We'll have to.
Yeah. Well, well, this is, a little bit of marketing going on.
Yeah.
You want people to come back and listen. But no, what I'm doing is, like, it's really hard for me to compare different rod brands, etc., to other rod brands, because, like, it's not the same when you look at everything.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to do my own research and say, like, this is the cheapest blank I could find, this is a high quality blank that I could find, and then a fiberglass, just because it's starting to come back in.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to see how it stacked up.
Well, it's like I kind of desperately want a fiberglass rod
Yeah.
because with fiberglass, it's more closely related, I think, to bamboo in fishing than it is to graphite.
The action is, yeah.
So it's kind of like almost like fishing bamboo, but with a more durable material. I don't have to worry if I left it leaning against the wall type thing.
Yeah, and fiberglass is much more durable than graphite,
Yes.
just due to the construction.
Yeah.
Which, for our listeners, the only difference between graphite and fiberglass, I don't want to say the only difference. That's incorrect. One of the bigger differences is the strands that you're holding together that make up this fiberglass and or graphite. Is the fiberglass is much longer, so it's inherently less brittle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it transfers any force put on it further
Yes.
instead of being more concentrated.
Yes, which inherently also makes it more flexible. So, and this kind of might be a good idea to get into, like, the difference in actions.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good segue,
Great
buddy. That's
segue.
where I
You're
wanted
pretty
to
good
go
at
with
things.
it.
I try. So, like, a fiberglass is going to be a slower action that compared to most of the graphite rods out now. And all
Yep. Bamboo is also slow.
bamboo would be the slowest in my mind.
And I think fiberglass is probably pretty damn close with, bamboo is pretty much a bamboo action,
Yeah.
but it's slow just because they don't have an extra slow.
Yep. And so for our listeners, when we talk about different action rods, the marketing term behind that is that's based on how far the blank will flex down the length of the blank.
Right. So a
So-
slow action will bend basically or flex the whole way to the
Yep.
almost the grip.
Into the handle, pretty much, into the grip, whatever you want to call it. And then a moderate fast will bend about halfway down. So if you have a 4-piece rod, it'll bend 2 sections down. Your moderate fast, it'll bend 1 section down. And I'm just throwing these out for education. It's not actually the legitimate definition.
Right.
But like with a fast action rod, it might only bend halfway down the tip section.
Like 2 feet.
Yeah.
And then an extra fast is just like the top foot.
Yeah.
I'd also highlight too that the number of ferrules,
Yep.
and ferrules are basically where the segments of your rod connect.
Yep.
The number of ferrules also affects the action of the rod. The more ferrules you have, because ferrules inherently have a little play, hence you can fit pieces into each other.
And there's also
They can slow down the action.
Yep. And there's also 2 sections of graphite in that gap.
Right.
So it will play into it, which is why, like, when I first started casting that 2-piece rod from Tom, the
Yep.
Chippewa, like, it felt so much better, but it is also somewhat of a slower action in my mind. And that kind of
casts
gets into the
beautifully.
graphite. Oh, it casts wonderful.
Well, because I think my 4-piece chippies are slower than my 2-piece chippy because the slight play in the ferrule I think makes it flex deeper in.
Yeah. Well, there's at some point there's going to be movement inside of different sections. That's just built into
Yep.
the mechanical components. But I don't think that's something with the advancements in technology now, like the fact that we can machine things and sand things to within thousands of inches, like it has taken most of the problem out, but there is still a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
In
Well, I mean, one of the big things is not that long ago, like 4-piece rods were like super cutting edge because essentially the more ferrules you had, it kind of like created like weak points in the rod.
Yeah.
So like, back in the day, it was, basically it was like, oh, we're now pushing technology with 4 ferrules. And, prior to that was like maybe 1 ferrule, like you get a 2-piece rod. And then,
Yeah.
originally you're talking like, I think pretty much 2, I think is where they started. 1-piece were kind of popular, but bamboo were always 2.
Yeah. And they also used to stick, like, in the technical definition, the ferrule had a piece going both above and below the connection. So if you're looking at where the rod connects, there used to be like a brass rod sticking off the bottom of the bamboo connection that would go and encapsulate the blank or like go into the center portion of it just to give it that extra stability and strength from the bamboo.
Yeah.
So, how do I want to put it? Basically, the ferrule is still the common designation of the connection is the term, but it's not actually accurate, if that makes sense.
Yeah, not anymore because they don't
It's
have
just
the
the
metal
colloquialism.
connectors. Yeah.
Like Sawzall is
Yeah.
the commonly accepted version of a reciprocating saw.
Right.
Because at this point, you just have graphite sitting in graphite instead of like with the bamboos, you had metal pieces that connect the pieces of bamboo.
Yeah. So, a little deep dive for our listeners, and I love that because, like, you see all these terms nowadays that are just marketing.
And how?
It is what it is. Kind of the important thing to look at with the action of the rods is the main difference is going to make for the average fly fisherman is how you cast.
Yeah, so a slower to moderate fast action rod, your tempo is going to be slower.
Yep.
Because the moment of loading the rod doesn't happen until much later, whereas with a fast or extra fast, it's going to be a quicker tempo because you don't need as much of the rod to flex for it to actually load.
Let me ask you this real quick. For somebody that's new into fly fishing, how do they make that determination on what they want?
So to be honest with you, I kind of think the market's almost made that determination for most people because most graphite rods you buy pretty much come in fast.
Okay.
I will say the other thing to his point is like it is much easier for people to cast well when they're first starting out off a faster action rod because there's more mechanical advantage helping you. Whereas I think a slower action rod is going to teach you how to cast well more quickly, if that makes sense. Like you'll be able to feel the rod load off a slower action rod much quicker than you are going to be able to off a fast action rod.
But you'll most likely cast better because
with a fast
mechanical advantage.
Yeah, with a fast action rod, like if you put a fast action rod in the hands of your nephew, whatever, they're going to cast better quicker off a fast action. Whereas if you hand them a slower,
they'll be able to
action
cast
rod
further.
Yeah, whatever way you
better happens, quote unquote, better AK technique happens more quickly on a slower action rod.
Well, I mean, you would have to include time as well.
Yeah.
Practice.
Right.
I think one of the better ways to say it in my mind is the faster the action the rod is, the more error it removes for you. Does that make sense?
So I guess my thought is one of the problems, like we discuss frequently, is most new fly fishermen can't tell when the rod's loaded.
Yeah.
And since that's a big bar to entry of being a great fly caster is not knowing when the rod's loaded, you tend to learn when the rod's loaded more easily on a slower action rod.
Yeah.
So I think like for casting technique and understanding that concept, I think the slower rod's better for that. That being said, to technically have a better cast quicker, which may not be technically correct, but I can throw 30 feet.
Yeah, I can fish with it.
I can fish with it. That will happen more quickly on a fast action rod because it does take the error out, but by the same token, you don't actually learn what you need to learn.
Gotcha.
I guess is that the good way to put it?
I'd say it's a great way to put it, and that's, I mean,
that's essentially why, like we were talking the other week about how Nick basically could never figure out the loading of the rod and was always a terrible caster until we went muskie fishing with him and he had his brand new 12 weight.
Yeah.
And what made it happen was it was so heavy he could actually feel it load. But when you're fishing with a slow action rod, like you don't actually really feel it until it loads.
Yeah, and you don't need that extra weight to actually load it.
Right.
So,
gotcha.
For our listeners, the only thing the action of the rod is going to make a difference for you is, one, your personal preference. If you like a little bit of a slower action, then you can actually feel it and want that in a fly rod, then get a moderate, slow action, whatever you want to call it. It's all a difference in feeling. They all pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to make the statement that a fast action rod is probably going to give you a little bit more line speed and velocity, but I don't think there's enough of a difference to make a difference for the person starting out or even a guy that's been fishing for a while. Like the Chippewa rods that we use commonly are slower action, but I think I cast just as well with a fast action versus a moderately slow action.
I mean, ultimately, it's all going to boil down to what you prefer to use.
Yeah.
And like, I like jumping all over the map, like especially for trout, because I have a Recon as my primary trout rod. I also have a bamboo rod. I want to get a fiberglass.
Yeah.
And it takes me probably 3 casts switching from the Recon to the bamboo to figure out my tempo for the bamboo.
Yep.
But it's all personal preference. Like, if I know I'm going solely to fish dry flies, I'm taking the bamboo.
Yep. I'm glad you brought that up. That is the main, if you're just getting into it right now, the slower the action of the rod is, the better it will present a dry fly. And that's the biggest difference that I can think of between the actions.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
I would, yeah. The slow, the bamboo rod, and that's why I kind of want to get a fiberglass because I want to know is basically it presents it better. And that's where like some of the graphite gets kind of interesting because, I don't know, probably a couple months ago now I talked about meeting the Scott rep at the fly shop.
Yeah.
And he had me try like the one Scott rod and it was a graphite and I think it was a slower action graphite.
Mm-hmm.
And it was designed solely for fishing dry flies. So it was like kind of so slow that it harkened back to like the fiberglass or bamboo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like Ross said, faster action rod, you get faster line speed. Slower action, you get a more delicate presentation. I think it's probably the best way to sum that up. But
I'd say so.
As I said, the market is going to kind of determine it for you because, you know, if your budget's X amount of dollars, there's only a finite number of rods in that budget.
Yeah.
Right.
So it may get determined for you whether you fish a fast action if you don't have like a bamboo or whatever in your budget.
Okay.
Right.
That
I
makes
mean, I
sense.
would not start off with a bamboo,
No,
No, please.
that wouldn't make
but
sense.
but yeah, I mean, it's like I said, the market's going to kind of, because basically it's kind of like everything. It's like, oh, the more powerful, faster, et cetera, like every marketing thing ever. And basically it's kind of pushed the market into making faster and faster graphite.
Which you may not actually need for fly fishing.
Right.
No, but that's kind of where they've headed. And now they're trying to claw it back with, oh, check out our new fiberglass.
Yeah, which is really amusing to me. Like with the whole like marketing push and like the way people design rods, like they're making some things obsolescent, and then like the old quote unquote old way of doing things is now becoming more popular again because like at some point you can only make graphite so good,
Yeah.
and like, oh yeah, this is the fastest rod known to date, and it doesn't really do much better than like the last generation of fast rods.
Right.
So now it's like, well, we've kind of reached the point where we can't make this any better, but we still need to make money off a new rod. So like, let's go back to the old days.
Well, I mean, it's not even just that until they develop like a whole new material. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like the old stuff's kind of like, okay, we went a little too fast on the graphite. Guys are kind of pissed off. They want better presentation. So, hey, cool, we made this new graphite. Check it out.
Right.
Or new fiberglass. Check it out.
Okay.
Either way.
So, real quick, just in, I guess, in closing, if you will.
Yeah.
So we talked about the rod weights, the IMs, the different types, graphite, fiberglass, or bamboo, and just now we just talked about all the different actions. So, Ross and Matt, what would be your ideal rod?
I would say we skipped one thing.
What did we
You
skip?
didn't tell me that.
Length.
Ooh, that is also important
So,
for our uranymphing friends that we don't like.
well, and guys like Cooper that like having a 10-foot rod.
Well,
I enjoy having both. I have both an 8 weight. I have my 8 weights in a 9 and 10 foot. I cast my 10 foot better, but is it because it's a better rod?
Or 10
Maybe,
feet long.
or if it's because it's an extra foot. I don't know.
so if we look at just the physical properties of the rod, a 10-foot long lever is going to give you more power than a 9-foot long lever.
Yes.
All the way down to a 7.6 4-weight. Like you're going to get more of a mechanical advantage from a longer lever than you will a shorter one.
I'd also point out that the longer rod also makes mending easier.
Yes. And the other thing it does too is like you see a lot of these uranymphing guys starting to use like 10 and 11 foot rods. You're able to control the drag off of your line a little bit easier. Like if you're trying to get a good drift and you're going across multiple currents, you do have that extra foot sticking out to where you're able to hold your line off the water just a little bit. It does make it a little easier for me.
I mean, especially trout fishing.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
in PA, like, that's the funny thing for us is it's like you see a lot of these uranymphing guys that will be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to use this uranymphing rod and hold it out over the run I want to hit. In PA, you've got like 9 different runs in the same river
Yeah.
that you're trying to fish, and you
Yep.
can't, like, you could use a uranymphing rod, but it'll take you forever and a day to do it. So let's just whip a 9'5" out there and mend the hell out of the line.
Yeah.
But the 10-foot long will give you a couple different advantages: casting, keeping your line off the water,
Yep.
presentation somewhat, but not
Just
as much.
because it helps with mending and, like you
Yeah.
said, the long arm dead stick. And I would say that another thing to consider when choosing your length of rod is, you know, for instance, in my raft,
Yeah.
my raft was designed for 9-foot rods. So when Cooper sticks his 10-foot rod on my raft, it hangs out a foot past the end of the protective rod tube.
Yeah. It puts it into the danger zone
Yeah.
a little bit there. So,
So I mean, that's a that's a consideration to take into effect. Like, you know, I mean, even the pontoon boat, like we built 9-foot rod holders into the pontoon boat, and Cooper's 10-foot rod kind of
yeah, it
dangles out a foot.
doesn't sit as well.
Yeah. I would also say that the 6-weight I built for myself to do streamer fishing, I did go with a 10-weight.
Yeah.
Just so
10 foot.
Or yes, thank you. 10-foot, 6-weight, just because with a streamer, I kind of want to keep that drift as good as possible when I'm swinging it. So I did go with the extra foot to keep a little bit more line off the water when I need to.
Well, I mean, plus you could use that sucker in a lake fishing for bass at a 6-weight.
Exactly. And
So-
the other thing too, with the longer rods, there's going to be more flex built into them inherently. So you may be able to use a smaller diameter tippet. So
A little tipper protection.
a little bit, there's going to be more flex in it. So using a 5-weight tippet or a 5X tippet, you might be able to get away with a little bit thinner diameter or
Like a 6 or a 7.
yeah. So if you fish a lot of extremely technical areas that you just get hammered with fishing pressure, throwing on that 6X tippet versus the 5X might catch you more fish.
Sure.
And you might be able to use that with the longer rod because it protects it a little bit more.
I was going to say the other thing with rod length is, I mean, obviously, whatever water you're primarily going to be fishing, probably gear your rod length towards that. So if you're fishing blue lines, you're probably not going to want to use a 10-foot.
Right.
Yeah.
You may want to look at like a 7.6. I think my dad said he has a 6-foot 2-weight. So
Which is awesome.
they make them in all kinds of. I think Pete has a 6-foot 2-weight also. But they make, if you're going to be fishing a lot of blue lines, tiny streams where basically you can almost like with your rod touch the trees on the opposite bank from the other bank.
Yeah.
You may want to look at a shorter rod because shorter rod requires less clearance
Yeah.
to cast. So that's another factor, kind of know your water and how far you're going to need to cast, how much coverage there is. I mean, obviously if you travel or whatever, like, you probably aren't going to want to be using your 3-weight 7'6" on the Delaware River because you're not going to cast as far.
Yeah.
Despite my arrogance, when I got my brand new 3-weight 7.6 and said I could outcast Ross with his 5-weight, I lost.
Yeah.
Not even close.
But it happens.
But there's considerations. 3-weight 7.6 not going to cast as far as a 9-foot 5-weight.
Exactly.
So, it's just
It's an excellent point to bring up because if you're up in, I don't know, New Hampshire or whatever, and there's a lot of very small mountain streams that like you just can't fit a 9-foot rod in there. Like,
Yeah.
don't go out and buy that 11-foot Euro nymphing rod because it's a 2-weight and everybody is like, oh yeah, this is the best way to catch fish. And then you're just like dragging it through tree branches all day and hating your life.
yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Kind of know where you're going to do most of your fishing and probably make your rod decision, especially if it's your first rod, based on where you're going to be doing most of your fishing. I mean, you can kind of make a smaller rod work. Like, if I fish Fishing Creek, I have fished it with a 3-weight 7.6. It just requires me to perhaps wade in a little deeper
Absolutely.
to reach than I would with my 9.5.
Yeah.
So, but you asked a question earlier about what's our ideal rod.
Yeah. So based on all the topics that we just discussed in regards to the weight, the IMs, the type, the action, and now the length, anything to add?
So
What would be your ideal go-to or your ideal fishing rod?
I mean, if we're trout fishing, my go-to is
Not brand specific.
I know. If we're trout fishing, my go-to is a 5-weight 9-foot. I have found it to be the general jack of all trades for me. I can throw streamers with it. Technically, I can also fish blue lines with it. It's not my ideal blue line rod, but I have fished blue lines with it. But I mean, the 9-foot 5-weight is my general jack of all trades for trout.
Yeah.
As far as bass and steelhead go, I also
What kind of action is your 9-foot?
it's fast.
5-weight.
It's fast.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, I do have a bamboo. So if I'm going to be fishing wet flies or dry flies and skipping the nymphs, I will take the bamboo.
Okay.
I have slung nymphs with it. It's just not as enjoyable as the dry fly or wet fly.
Right.
So 9-foot 5-weight's what I rock for trout. As far as bass go, and actually even steelhead, and I generally use light saltwater, I use a 9-foot 8-weight.
Okay.
And then for muskie, I use either a 9-foot 10-weight or 12-weight.
Okay. Cool.
I like 9-foot.
Yeah. If you're just getting into it, if I could make a recommendation looking back on it, if you want to catch the most amount of species, I'd look at like a 7-weight, just because you might be able to, on bigger rivers, you will be able to catch trout. You have to be real, real careful.
Yeah.
trying to use a 7-weight line to catch trout in some of the smaller streams, like especially in Pennsylvania.
Probably use a longer leader. I would think.
Longer leader, like a real light floating line, like the lightest grain weight you can find for a 7-weight. But with a 7-weight, I'd say you can comfortably catch most bass, most steelhead. You just got to play it a little more.
You could even probably get into pike with a 7-weight, assuming your flies aren't too big.
Yeah. And so if you want to catch the widest variety of fish, 7 or 8 weights probably your go-to. I completely agree with you, though. If I'm going out trout fishing on a river that I have never fished before, I'm grabbing my 9-foot 5-weight. I will say, like for muskie and stuff, just go with a 12. Like a lot of people will use a 10-weight because a little bit like you bought the 10-weight for your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 10-weights myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I prefer. I'm an above average caster, so I mean, I can sling the big stuff that I throw with a 12.
Yeah.
It is way more comfortable to do it with the 12.
Absolutely.
So now I mainly use the 10s either as backups or late spring, summer, early fall, where you're throwing smaller musky flies.
Absolutely. And if you're going to buy a 12-weight rod to go musky fishing, now that opens you up to like a whole lot of inshore fishing if you ever want to go down and like try and catch tarpon, redfish, bonefish, whatever.
Well, redfish, you only need an 8.
Right, but you can still use a 12 very effectively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to go whole hog and say, you know what, I hate myself, I want to punish myself and try to catch muskie off a fly rod,
Yeah.
go with 12. It's going to be so much easier on your body to cast those giant flies. And you can use it for so many other things other than a muskie rod.
Right.
I will say if I'm going universal saltwater, I'd probably rock a 10-weight.
Yeah, or even an 8.
So you can't get tarpon as well with an 8. That's why I'm
Right.
saying universal 10's like the minimum for tarpon.
Yeah, that would be the quote-unquote jack of all trades for saltwater is a good 10-weight.
Yeah, that's how I got into muskie fishing. I bought a
Right.
10-weight for saltwater.
There you go.
It was like, oh yeah, I can catch muskies with these things.
Never heard of them before. I was a trout fisherman.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the other nice thing about like where we're at too. Like muskie aren't really like they're not in California. They're not in the West Coast. Like they are Great Lakes centric,
Well,
which is awesome for us.
they've been stalking them, and I think Wyoming has some lakes with muskie, and so does Montana.
No way.
Yeah,
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, like
we can go to Yellowstone and tick off caught a muskie in Wyoming too.
holy crap! I did not know they were doing that. That's
I found that out when I was debating moving to Wyoming at one point, and I was like, "Holy shit, they're stalking muskies out there." Cool.
which I think is great. Like when you look at the overall health of water bodies after you have an apex predator in there, like it all goes up.
Yes.
There's no arguments to like the quality of the fish health in there. Like it all increases after there's something that's going to eat the weakest version of whatever is in that water body.
Yeah. Agreed.
Kind of like, you know, the whole evolution theory that Darwin came up with where it's like, oh yeah, the best of the best is going to last longer than the worst.
Yeah, only the strong survive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except when you start putting them in coliseums and making them fight to the death because some fat guy eating grapes from a other person's hand is getting fed. It's a whole thing.
Any Cooper customizations on your ideal rods?
Yeah, what do you think?
No, I mean, so I will say the only thing that I have a gripe with myself per se about is because I haven't been able to use my new 4-weight yet.
Right.
I am interested to see how much I like that versus my 5.9, like you guys all had talked about, because that is the, in my opinion, best universal trout rod to use. And I'm panfish. You can catch panfish with a 5.
Yeah.
So
yeah, every trout rod we just listed, great for panfish.
yeah. But as I talked about earlier, I do have 2 different 8 weights, one at a 9-foot and one at a 10-foot. I like both of them, but when I started getting better at casting, I got better at casting because of my 10-foot. And that's the truth. Because it has, well, I can't even say that it has the same line because it doesn't. I started with a better line as well.
Well, I mean,
that
that could be a fact.
So that's something that we can always get into is different lines and stuff. But I think we have in the past actually. But
Yeah, and like I'm glad you brought that up
Yeah.
because that is a really important point if you're looking for a do-it-all rod or like looking for a new fly rod. Go to your local fly shop. They have demo line. Like everyone I've ever been to has like a demo line available. If you have a rod that you think you want to buy, use different line weights and cast it with that rod because you will notice a difference between like say a 200 grain 5-weight line versus a 210 or whatever.
right.
Like we always say, make friends with your local fly shop. They
Absolutely.
will help you out. Make sure that once you find that new rod that you want, go up and cast with different lines and find the one that you like the best.
It's sure way cheaper than repeatedly buying fly lines like I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your local fly shop will most likely be more than happy to be like, of course, man, like try all these out. And
Yeah, if they
these
have
are the
them, they'll
ones we
generally
have.
let you try them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when I did my 8-weight lines for when I was buying new lines for my reels and spools, I had bought a floating line because steelhead. I wanted to use my 8-weight for steelhead.
Yeah.
And then I have an intermediate line for all the in-between fish, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have my sink line because I fish for muskie and or pike, if you
Yeah.
will, with my 8-weight because that's what I have.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I casted all of them before I bought them.
Wonderful.
And I've casted other ones before I've bought them through the fly shop. So
Yeah. Well, like Matt said, when he met that Scott Rod rep that day
Yeah.
at the fly shop, like if you notice your local fly shop is going to have an industry day coming up, like that would be a great time to go up and be like, hey, you guys probably have everything under the sun out to test right now. Get in on that. Take advantage of it. And
Absolutely.
honestly, the people will be really happy. And like just coming from a sales rep background where people were like actually interested in the product that I was trying to sell, like they're going to be really friendly about it. Like, yeah, this is actually the difference. Let me get really nerdy about this
Right.
and explain this to you because you're interested.
yeah.
You'll make their day, and I mean, you'll save a bunch of money versus about buying new fly.
Well, the funny part for me was it wasn't even like an industry day. He was just randomly just doing a pop-in.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just happened to be there, and like I was talking to Chris about buying a Scott rod,
Yeah.
and then he literally walked in the door like 10 minutes while Chris and I was griping about how ours took away hook keepers and whatnot, and he was like, "Oh, hey, it's our Scott rep,"
That's awesome.
and he just happened to have like a bunch of rods in his car. It wasn't even like an industry day. It was like 4:50 in the afternoon, just popping in to say hi on his
he's
way
just
home.
being a good sales rep.
Yeah.
Well, what he was doing is he was fishing the Shannon Creek and was like, "Oh yeah, I should probably stop into this fly shop."
Probably go say hi.
Yeah, or Chris texted him like, "Hey, fat cat in here looking to buy a Scott rod."
Yeah, this guy does not take care of his money. Get it? But no,
But like I was saying, I'm still interested in testing out my 4-weight that I have now, which is actually a what did we say? It's an 8.5, 8.6.
8.6 4-weight 2
So hurry up and buy the reel in line already.
It's happening this
They're
week.
on order.
actually. It is happening this week. He's holding them for me. I gotta go.
I'm kind of
I gotta go
excited.
do it.
Yeah.
because
Otherwise, you're costing him money, man.
Probably not, but
either way, I'm excited because
Yeah.
I can't wait for fishing season to come back. This winter has sucked when it comes to us getting out on the water because it's been miserable.
Well, I'd say, yeah. I mean, we didn't even ice fish hardly at all.
one or two times.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yep.
So
Anything else, gents?
no, I think we probably better wrap it up. We got a little long-winded in the third segment. Hey, you can find us on Instagram, dangerous_fly_fishing. Search for us on YouTube at Dangerous Fly Fishing. I'd love to hear from you guys, be it tips, tricks, corrections, etc. Shoot us an email, dangerousflyfishing@gmail.com.
Is that everything?
That's it.
All right. As always, well, actually, I wanted to mention for the YouTube folks, if you don't mind giving us a little like, maybe a sub, hitting the little bell. The bell lets you know when we post something, so that way we can get you taken care of. Other than that, good luck, don't suck, and stay dangerous.